Hello and welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer, and especially looking at developing your personal brand as a consultant and the importance and the benefit of doing this. So Paul Mendes, the Zero to Mastery instructor for Zero to Mastery Academy, uh, he created this course, and in these sections I just want to dive deep into the why creating a personal brand is important, write it down, and also combine it with my own knowledge and experience and relationships, especially uh, to give a more close meaning to reality, the reality that I'm describing here, about the importance of creating a personal brand. So, a lot of people say that yes, creating your personal brand, sorry, creating your personal brand is something very, very important because it will boost your audience as well as sales. So you can promote your product to reach to new audience in new markets, and then use social media to sell or promote your core, your digital product and service, you name it. So yeah, so the end goal might be is to sell something, okay? But the selling strategy here is something that struggled me a little bit. Why? Because what is the value that I'm getting from you? And this is something true for a lot of people, especially when you live in this new era where you have a broad audience, where you can now not only solve the problems but also provide value. So the whole point of this, and also is because I'm confronting myself with, uh, especially when you do the work for a company, that company uh, wants you to do a specific thing to solve their problems, which is good, great. You're also receiving money from that. The problem is that you are solving very narrow niche specific issues that might be a scale, uh, but it won't help too many people. Again, it's gonna depend on which industry you choose. But the whole point of this is this struggle between is what you're selling and what you're selling align to your values. Because a lot of people here, which is what happened here, okay, this is what happened here uh, on the corporate environment, okay. So a lot of a lot of companies sacrifice, uh, yeah, a lot of company sacrifice corporate values for sure, for sure, for short-term values, for short-term money value. And there is nothing wrong about it, you know. Just recognize, you just recognize that if the only value that you're gonna get from this corporate, from this company, is money, well, you know, that's all. That's all. And again, money is just a vehicle. So money is a vehicle that allow us to exchange so far in an in an efficient in an efficient efficient way things. Some of them are goods or service. Okay, but this is from the economy perspective. But also not only that, because this is a human exchange. So money is a vehicle that allows to exchange so far in an efficient way human value. In this case, value, right? Money is a vehicle that allow us to exchange so far in an efficient way. It's a vehicle that allows to exchange value in an efficient way. Okay, that's the whole point of this. So money is a vehicle that allows to exchange value in an efficient way. So the question is, for any company, question is, especially in today's world, question is, especially in today's world, why? Where you're at in this? No, come on. Okay. Can you remove this? Come on. Okay. So question is, especially in today's world, because we're talking about is the value here. Question is, especially in today's world, what is the value, or what is the investment vehicle in which I can provide value and receive it? So question is, especially in today's world, what is the investment vehicle in which I can provide value, in which I can provide and receive value? So question is, especially in today's world, what is the investment vehicles in which I can provide and receive value? So a personal brand is the way is the way you do it. A personal brand is the way you do it based on your interest, past experience, things you excel, you know, things you excel. Is this our personal brand is the way is the way you do it based on your interest, past experience, things you excel. hmm So based on your interest, things you are, things you have a yeah things you are excel and passionate about it. So this summarizes my own content for today. Uh, but in any case, so this is the reason why, especially when looking at the yeah, especially when looking at the hmm so especially when looking at understanding the importance of developing a personal brand. Okay, the end goal is sell something, but in today's world, especially when you're working for something, for someone in a company, a lot of those companies, I'll argue, that sacrifice corporate value for short-term money values, which is not bad, but you must recognize that is the end goal. Okay, at least for the vast majority of companies, to have an exit. So the question is, and especially for yourself, okay. So if I working for someone for per hours, okay, I will argue, I will reframe this. So question is, especially in today's world. So if I'm working, yeah, if I'm working for somebody, for someone, okay, and exchange time for money, okay, and exchanging, okay. So especially the question is, especially in today's world, if I'm working for someone and exchanging time for money, is that a good investment? Is that a good amount of effort and time that I dedicate to that? What will be the investment vehicle in which I can provide and receive value? You know, and when you talk about investment, is this labor or is this time that I'm dedicating here? And yeah, it's this time and effort that I'm dedicating here is good, is sustainable. Is that a good investment? Is that is sustainable? You know, is that it's sustainable? That's the question. Is that sustainable? key point here, man. Is that a good investment? Is that sustainable? What will be the investment vehicles in which I can provide and receive value? So a personal brand is the way to do it. So based on your interest and past experience and things you excel and passion and excel. So this is to excel at. This is to get some meaning about, or to get your own meaning about the reason. It can be your own meaning based on the descriptions of the real world right now. Because in today's, okay, so in 2021 centuries, okay, in 21st century, a lot of companies sacrifice corporate value for short-term money value. And money is a vehicle that allows to exchange value in an efficient way. So the question is, if this is the question is, especially in today's world, uh, if I'm working for somebody and exchange time for money, is this a good investment? Is this sustainable? So what will be a investment vehicle? Uh, yeah, what will be a better? What will be a better investment vehicle to provide value, and to provide and receive value, or to exchange value, right? Is that sustainable? What will be a better investment vehicle to exchange value? So a personal brand is the way you do it, and based on your interests and past experience and things you excel at. So knowing this, okay, about the reason of the personal brand, and why am I doing this, okay, as a way to recognize that if what I'm doing right now, especially when exchanging my time per money, okay, as a way to get into the game, and solving the client's problems. So the question is, doing this is sustainable, you know, and also, is there a better investment vehicle to exchange value? So personal brand, so far it seems to be one. When you talk about personal brand, it's your own story. You know how you do the thing that you do. So this is very very interesting, because uh, as you recognize that foundation, okay, now you can see the benefit of doing this, because not only so this will not only help you to build trust and authority in your industry, okay, uh, but also open up to new opportunities, whether it's from podcasts, magazines, radios, YouTube channels, Instagram, reels, you name it. It will open up to new opportunities, that their audience can identify you and see what you do and what you offer. And this silence is because it was a realization moment here. It was a realization moment, because once you open up to opportunities your based on the authority you have built, on your consistency on solving a particular problem, or doing something based on your consistency over time, it will make you an authority on that field. A great example is, for example, a lot of rappers, you know, because they have invested time and effort into that consistently, one way and another, a huge amount of people now put their eyeballs on them, their attention, because the topic that they were talking about, uh, or the way how they express that. And this is just for the music, which is true for music, and it is true for any industry, you know. So right now, in as a software developer engineering with Shopify experience, the beauty of dedicating time is to this e-commerce platform is to recognize what is the value, what is the problems that are truly solving in the real world, and then uh, apply that not only to my life but also to others, to help others with that issue. So uh, the impact here uh, is so the impact here is quite different. And software engineers can provide value to a multiple to millions of people, all right, and they are responsible for what they're doing. Unlike, for example, blue collar workers or uh, construction workers, uh, of course, they will not get sued by that company that hired them. But now the responsibility is in the software field is heavily on that individual. In any case, in any case. So once you open up to new opportunities, because the consistency of what you have done over the past couple, 3 to 5 or 10 years, uh, that will make you someone uh, of value to others. So magazines, news, and radios, and that kind of things will see your value for their audience, and their audience can identify who are you and what you do. A media love experts, and by when I say media, is that people that work on media and people that consume, that the producers and the consumers actually work experts. Sorry, actually love experts. So as you now open up to new opportunities, you can start to grow your network by now connecting with other peoples that have interest with you, and also attract more clients where you can charge them more. So this is a particularly business model, okay, for the consulting business model. When it comes now to the more artistic endeavors like music, okay, so the way you're gonna charge them is with their attention and time they're dedicating to this. And it is funny because uh, this is an emotion that generates that. So this is an energy that generates among thousands of millions of people that they want to do that. So yeah, so this is something interesting. This is the beauty uh, of the market as well, because as this is a social science that recognizes that we are not only logical human beings, or as the economy wants to assume that all actors in the markets act based on their self-interest and logical uh, thinking. Uh, we most of the time we act based on our emotions, and that is what defines our life most of the time. So okay, So after I went through that, right? So to describe the benefit of building your personal brand, okay, and the top ways to embrace that. So now this is the mechanism, to know how you do that. Is well, just embrace what sets you apart at once. So embrace what sets you apart. Protect your brand at all costs and be authentic. So become a thought leader. Again, this is very narrow specific. Most of us is to become a thought leader or a leader. This is the context of consulting, but the way of how you can do your personal brand, according to Paul Mendes, okay, is but embrace what sets you apart. So in my particular case is this image that I have built on. So with dreads, so I figuring out and work out on my health, feet, that kind of thing. So I create this image. Okay, so embrace what sets you apart. So protect your brand at all costs. Be authentic, and that is being on the present. This is being on the present. Being authentic is that be on the present. So worthy of belief and trust. Be authentic, meaning be on the present, so you can down the line become a leader. So this is the interesting, very 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 interesting. Yep, very 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 interesting. So this first section, okay, uh, where now I embrace is the dedication here, and also I'm recording myself and speaking slowly, is to understand every word that I'm saying. And when I talk to someone, I'm talking to myself as well. Very, very important. And it's funny because a lot of people that hear me or that might hear me will say that I'm trying to persuade them. And it's up to you if you believe what I telling you or not. You know, if there is something that I'm telling you with you that resonate, great. If not, take care. Bye bye. So why would you dedicate time and effort to try to convince me that I'm wrong or try to change my mind? You know. Uh, so so yeah. So okay, I just want to now I want to recap about this particular section. You know, because over the couple weeks and months I've dedicated time is to repeat a lot of this concept without actually dedicating the time to reflect on that until now. Until now. So so the personal brand here, quick recap. With the personal brand, the whole point of this is to recognize that this is something important because it will help you to grow, and this will help you to boost your success as a consultant in this particular case, but also as a human, as a consultant here. Why? Well, since the vast majority of people, particularly when you work for a company, a lot of those companies sacrifice corporate values in favor of today's money values, where money is so far is an excellent medium for exchange value. The question is that This exchanging, where I dedicating time to when I'm exchanging time to receive money based on a labor that I'm doing, is this sustainable? Is this a good investment? A good amount of time and effort to put it, okay? If it's not, what will be a better investment vehicle? So personal brand, so far, it seems to be this. So this is the entire reasoning behind this. And it is interesting because a lot of the great leaders actually they have done quite they have done similar things like that. You know, um, so they have built their own stories based on with some myth and legends, but some sort of truth or some sort of experience, some sort of actions that they have done in the past that not build up their credibility, this accountability. So once you recognize that personal brand is the way to go, especially because what you're doing is just creating is your story in a way that is sustainable when it comes to exchange value to others, whether it's company, business, governments, or consumers. Okay, in other words, people. But when you know and recognize uh, that the personal brand is the way to do that because this is an sustainable and so far an efficient way to provide value to others based on what you have done in the past and based on your interests, past experience, and things that you excel at. You have natural inclination to that. Oh, then is when people see yourself as an authority or someone to trust because all of that you have an accountability and that will open up to new opportunities, which is something that happened to me recently. Yesterday, the head of content from Zero to Mastery actually uh, write me to know more about my testimonial. So he wants to use my testimonial as a way to uh, motivate others, freelancers or students to actually pursue that. And the funny thing of this is that because I have done the work and I have preaching what I have done what I'm preaching, and I get results. I combine the theory and practice, and I get results. Okay, so that starts to build this image, so others recognize that and say, okay, there's something here. So this actually open up to new opportunities. For example, here with the head of content from Zero to Mastery Academy, and might open up me to new opportunities from podcasts, media, magazines, radio, uh, and with that, okay. So with that, yeah, because I'm also thinking about other artists and influencers. So I think some influencers actually recognize this per se. So the power of being an account. So the power of the accountability of your actions based on something that you have interest or past experience, or things that you excel at. Okay, so exactly. So this opens up to new opportunities, and people from those medias, whether it's radio, news, or magazines, Instagram Reels, recognize who are you and what is your audience. So this will start to grow your network, uh, and attract more clients where you can charge them more. That's particularly section of attracting more clients, or attracting an audience where you can charge them more, is also a way to, especially for clients, that they see value in connecting with you. So, with this benefit of knowing about the importance of creating a personal brand, now it's time to see at how you can do that. So first, embrace what sets you apart. Okay, because you don't want to be one in a sea of many. So embrace what sets you apart. Protect your brand at all costs. Be authentic, meaning is be on the present. Be someone of trust. Be someone worth of trust. And I will argue that the way to do that is by being on the present and solving your own inner problems. Uh, so over time, you'll become a leader into that. So this is something very, very interesting, completely, because this is just a way to describe is the first section of uh, building a personal brand as a consultant. Okay, and also is described is that building an online presence and producing content here is something important and it is key. Okay, consistency is key. So if content is king, consistency is queen, right? And you can schedule here is that month of tweets and that kind of thing. So utilize social media tools, management tools to actually make your life much more easy for that. So how to build my personal brand? So platform to go with Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and YouTube. This is another where I have an audience. Type of content. So what is an e-commerce here? How an e-commerce can be beneficial to me. Trade-off of e-commerce. Platform to go with. Why Shopify? Who are you? What you have done? Show your portfolio. Personal experience with e-commerce in my life and internet opportunity. So this will be the type of content here, right? So what is an e-commerce? How an e-commerce can be beneficial to me? Trade-off of e-commerce. Platform to go with. Why Shopify? Who are you? What you have done? And then show your portfolio. So personal experience with e-commerce in my life and the internet opportunities. Content format, image and text. In content publishing system, post 3 per day. I will argue that this is more like 1 a day. Hours to post, and system to use buffer. And the other is how to embrace collaboration. So that actually is that actually this video here. How to embrace collaboration.
To thousands, if not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of.
Okay. So with that, that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.